Have you ever wondered how some people never seem to get mad? We all had times where our emotions got the best of us. So how is it that some people are able to handle their emotions better? This video will answer exactly that and tell you how you can master your emotions. There are usually two emotional coping styles people use when faced with a negative emotion. Let's say someone you know insults you after you get into an argument with them. To cope with the anger and anxiety, people usually either bottle their emotions or brood over them. People that bottle their feelings try to forget what happened and suppress those feelings. Bottlers try to keep themselves busy to try to suppress those feelings instead of talking things out with that person. Bottling your emotions can help you contain the emotions in the short term, but over the long term, those emotions will eat away at you and leak out. If you ever saw someone just go into an angry outburst out of nowhere, you can safely deduce that person is someone who bottles up their emotions. You can't just bottle up your emotions and forget them forever. Those emotions have to be released somewhere. People that bottle up their emotions end up releasing those emotions in terrible situations, which makes things worse. On the other hand, we have people who brood over emotions. If you are a brooder, you will be constantly thinking about what just happened before during the course of the day. You will find it hard to focus on your work because the insult is the thing taking up most of your cognitive power. The emotions you brood over will take over your life and cause you to do things you normally wouldn't do until you learn to accept and let go of those emotions. I personally know more people who bottle their emotions instead of brooding over them, but both coping styles are not ideal. Whether you are someone who bottles their emotions or brood over them, you are making those emotions more destructive. In order to better master your emotions, you will need to learn how to deal with these so-called negative feelings like anger and anxiety. Before I go over the 4 steps to mastering your emotions, I want to quickly touch on why it is important to learn emotional mastery. Emotions strongly affect your well-being, and if you want to live your best life, you'll need to learn how to master them. Certain emotions make you feel a lot better, while other emotions make you feel a lot worse. We can't always be happy 24/7, which is why we need to master our emotions, so when we are feeling down, it won't negatively impact us that badly. Also, mastering your emotions allows you to have healthy relationships. When you can't control your emotions, you can snap at the wrong times, which paints you in a bad light. When you show the appropriate emotion for the situation, people will see you in a good light, and you can nurture your relationships. Now, here are the 4 steps to mastering your emotions. Step 1. Identify what you are really feeling. If you struggle to name your emotions, they can take over your life. Unnamed emotions can lead to uncontrollable stress since you don't understand what you're dealing with. To take this first step towards emotional mastery, you have to face that emotion and ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Is it X or is it something else? Think about what it is you are feeling and give it a name. Susan David, the author of Emotional Agility, which a lot of the information in this video is based off, says that learning to label emotions with a more nuanced vocabulary can be absolutely transformative. If you can identify the full spectrum of emotions, you can begin to master and control your emotions. For example, knowing the difference between sadness, boredom, and loneliness makes a huge difference since it will impact how you will handle each individual emotion. Step 2. Accept and appreciate your emotions, knowing that they fully support you. Emotional mastery doesn't mean shutting down or denying your feelings. I explained in the coping mechanisms section that bottling and brooding is not good. Learning how to master your emotions means that you appreciate those feelings as part of yourself. The goal isn't to always feel good because that's impossible. The goal is to deal with those destructive thoughts and emotions so that they don't destroy your life. To accept your emotion, accept it without judging it as good or bad. There are no good or bad emotions, just like how there are no right or wrong emotions. You never want to make your emotions wrong, because the idea that anything you feel can be wrong will destroy honest communication with yourself. Step 3. Be curious about your emotions. If you approach your feelings with a sense of curiosity, they can teach you a lot about yourself. By being curious, you allow yourself to step out and detach yourself from your emotion, so that you can simply observe it. This lets you interrupt your current emotional pattern and solve the challenge. You get to see your emotions rise and fall. When you get insulted, you don't have to react with anger and aggression. You can step out of it and see how your anger slowly cools off, and choose to respond thoughtfully by letting the other party know that you didn't appreciate it. When you feel anxious in a social setting, you don't need to shy away and stick with just your friend group. You can detach yourself and watch how your nervousness slowly fades away as you give yourself some room to breathe, and then you can go up to someone and talk to them. Step 4. Act according to your values. We all have goals and values we value, but when we are overwhelmed by emotion, we can lose sight of what's important to us. We can end up neglecting friends and family, or we can end up neglecting our health. If you can do the previous 3 steps when you are feeling certain emotions, you get to ask yourself if your following actions will align with your values. This allows you to take a better course of action that can help you handle that emotion. By successfully handling the emotion you're feeling, you can build up more confidence in yourself that you can handle destructive emotions. In the future, when you experience that same emotion, you will be better equipped to handle it because you successfully did so in the past. Learning how to master emotions is very complex. If you want to master your emotions, you ideally want to learn more and apply what you learn. A lot of the information in this video is based on Susan David's book, Emotional Agility, which you can check out from the link in the description. If you prefer learning in a different format, there are a lot of good videos on YouTube about emotional mastery you can check out. How do you cope with your emotions? Leave a comment below and check out the video shown on the end screen if you like this video and want more content.